Hi everyone, Misilla here, Learn to Grow. I hope that you guys are having a good day. Forgot my tripod, so I'm leaning on this shelf here right now. But anyway, today's video is about succession planting. And what that means is utilizing planting methods that can increase crop availability throughout the season. So you're always harvesting something. And this will also make efficient use of your time and space. So I'm going to go ahead and walk around the garden, show you what I've been planting every 2 to 3 week periods, or pretty much you're staggering your plantings. So for instance, you could be planting bush beans every 2 to 3 weeks. So that way, when your first crop that you plant is starting to fade in production, then a couple of weeks later, you'll be harvesting more from your second crop or third crop of plantings. I pretty much did this with lettuce, Swiss chard, cilantro, spinach, arugula. So these ones I've been practicing succession planting throughout the season from spring to right now, summertime. Oh, and you can also use this planting method with your squash plants and cucumbers. So that way you'll have a continual harvest throughout the season. This was the earliest planting of lettuce back in late March. And as you can see, we've harvested most of them and they are starting to bolt and flower. So we'll be letting some go to seed. And here are some leaf lettuce that were started about 2.5 weeks after those first ones that I showed you were planted. More leaf lettuce. These were sown from seeds about 6 weeks ago. These are black-seeded Simpson, which is supposed to be heat tolerant, so hopefully it does well this summer. And these are price head lettuce, and they're actually growing in the same garden bed as these leaf lettuces. So they are planted about 2.5-3 weeks apart, and the first that I showed you was planted about nearly 3 weeks before these were. Here is a bed where I start crops from seeds in late spring and in the summertime, so that way I can still grow cool weather crops. This area is protected from the afternoon sun. So in this bed I have some bok choy seedlings, kale seedlings, radish, spinach. It looks like the squirrels are digging them up again. And I also have some lettuce seedlings here and cilantro, and I think I've got more lettuce over there. So these seeds here, this whole bed, these little seedlings were sown about 3 weeks ago. So the lettuce plantings were staggered between 2 to 3 weeks apart. These spinach plants were planted over 2 months ago, and 2 weeks after I planted them from start, I sowed more spinach seeds. So these are starting to bolt as well, as you can see, but I can still harvest the leaves. Here are more spinach that I started about 3 weeks ago, although something got them. A lot of the seeds were dug up, so only a few made it. Now let's take a look at the chard plants. These were planted about 8 weeks ago. And then I started more from seeds about 3 to 4 weeks after those ones were planted. So these ones here are about probably almost 6 weeks old, planted from seeds. And then about 3 weeks after these were sown from seeds, I started more, although it took a while to sprout because the squirrels kept digging up the seeds. So I think these were started about 2 weeks ago, or they finally sprouted a little bit later than I wanted to. So the chard plants were spaced out about, let's see, these ones were spaced out about 3 weeks ago, and then this one and these ones were spaced out about 4 weeks apart. This cilantro was the first one I planted, and about 3 weeks later I sowed some seeds. So here's a little patch right there. And then we also have these ones that self-seeded, so those are also about to bolt. And again, these are the most recent ones that I sowed, which were sown about nearly 3 weeks ago. These ones are the earliest kale plantings, and they were planted about 3 months ago. And these ones were started about, I think, 7-8 weeks ago. And this area does not get full sun, so they are growing slower. And then I sowed more kale seeds today. These are the first arugula crops that we sowed. And I let these go to seed because I am running low on seeds, and I had a hard time finding them in our local stores even now. So I think I've got about 4 plants that are going to produce some seeds for us. And here are more arugula that I started about 3.5 weeks ago. And right now it's getting too warm for them, so I'm going to stop sowing arugula seeds until we get closer to fall. I hope that you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up or share it. Thank you so much for watching. Also, real quick, just want to share this with you guys. These are red veined sorrel, and they are a perennial green, so that way they'll come back every year, and I believe they are hardy all the way down to zone 5. And they are so beautiful. I just planted them this year from starts, and they are really taken off.